Hello. So let's look at this. I'm going to just do this one video on here. NASA will fire 3 rockets directly at the solar eclipse on Saturday. And it sounds really weird. It really sounds strange to me and rather odd. NASA researchers plan to launch 3 rockets carrying scientific instruments toward the moon's shadow on October the 14th to study the changes in the atmosphere brought about by the annular solar eclipse. And we've got the picture of it right here, and it kind of looks kind of strange. It really does. It is a little bit strange. It's like, well, okay, you got it looking strange. As millions of people, y'all, this is wild. As millions of people across North America and North, Central, and South America tilt their heads skyward to watch the partial ring of fire tomorrow, NASA engineers will celebrate the once-in-a-decade event in their own way by firing rockets directly at the eclipse's shadow. So right directly at the eclipse's shadow. Look at that. Look at this. What are they up to? They're up to something. They really are. And they say, don't worry. The sun, the moon, and everyone watching will be just fine. According to NASA, the plan to launch 3 scientific rockets from White Sands Missile Range in New Mexico, I was pretty close to that when I went to New Mexico, is part of a purely scientific mission to study the changes in Earth's atmosphere, upper atmosphere, during the sudden plunge in daylight that eclipses bring. So White Sands Missile Range. So if y'all didn't know, I did go to New Mexico probably around a few months ago, and I went to the White Sands beach. Me and my daughter, it was pretty cool. Total White Sands. People were surfboarding down them on their boogie boards. It was a little wild is what it was. A little bit wild. Now let's see something else, you all. So at its peak on Saturday, which is tomorrow, the eclipse will see roughly 90% of the sun's light blocked by the moon, and we know that prior to the eclipses, for the sudden drop in daylight, it can have really strange effects on the planet, including rapid changes in temperatures. Oh, wow. Wind patterns, and even animal behavior. Well, what about human behavior? We got to think about what about the human behavior if this eclipse, now listen, it's going to have prior eclipses, sudden drop in daylight can have some really strange effects on the planet, including, hello Lisa, hello everyone, rapid changes in temperature, wind patterns, and even animal behavior. People could be losing their mind too. You don't you be out in it, you all. Less understood is how an eclipse affects the electrically charged upper atmosphere or ionosphere, which begins between 30 and 50 miles above the Earth. The sun's ultraviolet radiation rips the electrons from the atoms, forming vast sea of charged particles throughout the day. At sundown, many of these electrons recombine into neutral atoms until the sun's morning rays return and split them apart again. So during the 2017 total solar eclipse over North America, scientists watched a speeded up version of this process play out when the moon completely blocked the sun's light for a few moments and then causing ripples in the ionosphere as the temperatures and ion density rapidly dropped or dipped, then rose again after the eclipse's peak. So y'all, we're looking at scientific lifescience.com about the eclipse. Oh, so so this is going to be going on throughout the day with the sun's ultraviolet radiation ripping through from the atoms, forming a vast sea of charged particles throughout the day. It's going to be happening all day long practically. And then at sundown. Sundown, many of the electrons will recombine into neutral atoms until the sun's morning rays. Oh, it's going to go long. There's going to be supercharged atmosphere. Wow. That is wow. It's supercharged. The combined air-ground data will give APEP researchers an unprecedented view of the atmospheric changes during the eclipse. The team will recover and reuse the rockets to study the eclipse due to cross North America on April the 8th of 2024. Wow, that's next year. This time launching from NASA's Wallops Flight Facility in Virginia, just outside the eclipse's path. So this is the team you are looking. Following that, the team won't get another chance to shoot rockets at the moon shadow until 2044, when the next total solar eclipse arrives. It reminds me of when NASA shot rockets at the moon. They shot rockets at the moon. They did. They shot them at the moon before, and now they're shooting them at the eclipse. Let me see. NASA fires rockets in the moon. They really did. Let me do this, you all. NASA fires, maybe the government did it, fires rockets, ETS, I got to use my hand, at moon. And Elon Musk did the same thing. Elon Musk did the same thing. Look at that. NASA continues key test series with moon rocket. They completed a full duration hot fire of the RS-25 certification engine on the 23rd, continuing a critical test series to support future space something. So they have been doing it before. They did the Artemis rocket. NASA launches Artemis rocket on a mission to the moon. The mega Artemis rocket, 50 years, you all. Something's up. Something is way up with that. If they've already did it, you all. And now they're launching 3 more rockets. 3 more rockets after launching the Artemis at the moon rocket earlier to land on the moon. To land on the moon. And didn't something just come back? Like a comet or something. Leak runs the rocket launch. Look at that. The Artemis, yeah, so this is, they want to build a moon rocket. Yeah, so if y'all just tuning in, they have, let me show it. Let me show the picture. 3 rockets at the moon tomorrow, because they're going to study the atmosphere. They're going to launch it right there in the shadow, dead center in the shadow, so they can just recover that rocket, 3 rockets, when it's done, and study whatever happened. But in the meantime, the Earth's atmosphere is going to be supercharged with plasma, probably like electricity, and there's no telling what's going to happen. They said it can cause animal behaviors and sudden changes in wind, drops in temperatures, everything it could, you all. So this is kind of wild if you're just tuning in. Hello, everyone. They don't have very many people allowed in the comments section, and we got 148 people watching, which is really odd why they don't want any more people in here commenting with 141 people. That's so strange, but it's okay, you all. I think something strange is happening. I want to put in, I'm using my phone, I do apologize. I want to put in a filter. I want to put in a custom range, a custom search range, but it's not going to let me. I want to come over here and do it. Okay, I want to do it. I want to do a custom range of, let me just pick October the 3rd. Let me just go all the way, go back to, I want to go all the way back to maybe 2000, maybe. No, let me do 1970. 1977. Let me just do that. 1977. I'll do 8. /9/2001. I just like to put things like that to see if it brings up any other articles, because sometimes you can get stuff. Okay, so we got a smoke plume, a whitish plume of smoke behind a rocket. No, Apollo on the moon, chapter 4. So Apollo went to the moon, but it never did go back. Y'all hit that like button. I want to, proposals. Look, proposals before and after the 61. Again, the operational techniques required launching several rockets and refueling a vehicle for the moon beyond the atmosphere. The Liberty Bell something. I don't know, you all. Launch a rocket from a spinning planet. Well, okay. White Sands is the place to launch your rockets. Firing, let me see this, fired rockets at the moon. Let me just write fired rockets, or fired rockets at the moon, because I know they did. Fire rockets. There's a book about it too. I think I did a video on it. Rockets at moon. Let's see. Yeah. Moon launch was man's shining hour. Retro rocket. I don't know. Let's see if there's any books on firing the rockets at the moon. No, we ain't going to find it, you all. We go back to the solar eclipse. So that's all I'm going to say. It's tomorrow, and it's not going to be seen everywhere, and it's only going to last when it goes in front of the moon at the most maybe 4 or 5 minutes, the moon and the sun. But why is the sun bigger than the moon and stuff? It's really odd. It's really odd that they're going to launch your rockets right in the dark shadow of the moon and then gather the data. And Sunday, I'm just going to repeat, if you didn't watch this video, there was a video, you all. Let me see if I can get it. This video right here, the Ring of Fire Solar Eclipse, Israel's astrology for Sunday is pretty bad. This is really bad. I'm going to show you this. Look. According to their astral chart, because of the way things add up, it's looking really bad for Sunday, which is the 15th for Israel. It's a pretty good video, and there's things that were explained in it. You don't want to go out during the eclipse, and this isn't getting very many views, but there's something massive's going to happen. They hope something bad doesn't happen, but they really feel that something is going to happen as a result of their chart, because it doesn't look good at all. It looks really bad. So that's the eclipse. We got it going, you all. We do. Hello, you just tuning in. Let's go over here. So the rockets are also going to get launched. So at the same time, we're supposed to have a very bad, it don't look good on Sunday for Israel. Violent events, it said violent events are likely. Violent events on Sunday are very likely, more or less. And we're going to have the rockets fired into the sun too. So that's not going to help matters either. So with that being said, hello, wherever you are in any part of the world. Hello, from my heart to yours. Love you. Have a wonderful rest of your night, you all. And thank you for watching this video. Love you. Good night.